The way I feel about some people designing their houses is the same way I feel about people designing their own album covers, and this is a very clear case.
Hello? You're currently on the phone with Kacey K. Yep, that's me.
Good morning, everybody. It is February 11th. It is currently 7:15 a.m. and I pushed snooze probably 10 times this morning. I love waking up early, but sometimes getting out of bed is so hard for me, and I don't know what else to do. Anyway, here we are. I went to 2 different Mexican restaurants this weekend, and high school Casey would have been shocked to hear that because I don't know what it is. I kind of get this like weird craving for stuff and it just hits. Like, I don't know. This was like 2016 probably. All of a sudden, I started craving peanut butter. It's just out of the blue. Just started craving it. And I went and bought a jar or a tub or whatever. And like I ate the whole thing in a couple days. That's a lot of calories, just so you know. Same with Mexican food. Maybe 5 years ago, I'm like, this sounds really good. I mean, I've not liked it my whole life, but all of a sudden, this all sounds absolutely delicious. And now it's one of my favorite foods. Same with boiled eggs, hard boiled eggs. Last week or the week before, I was like, that sounds really good and has a lot of protein in it. And now I love boiled eggs. So I don't know what is wrong with me. I don't know if that's a normal thing that humans go through, but yeah, one thing it'll never, ever, ever happen with though is sushi. Sorry to everyone who has tried to get me to eat sushi. I tried some again the other day for the first time in a long time. The first time I tried sushi, you guys, I'm not even kind of exaggerating. I started crying. My eyes just like welled up with tears. I was crying. It was awful. It was horrible. I don't know how people eat sushi. I'm so sorry. It's just not it for me. It never will be. Also, people make fun of me because I don't like cold food. And apparently to some people that is so weird and funny. They're like, what do you mean you don't like cold food? And I'm like, I just don't like when food is cold when it's not supposed to be. People are like, so you don't like cereal or ice cream? I'm like, okay, let's back up a second here. That is fine. I don't like food that is supposed to be warm when it's cold. Like when people go and get pizza out of the fridge and eat it without putting it in the microwave. No, 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 no. Same with like in the movies when they like go get the Chinese takeout from the fridge from the night before and just eat it cold. No, no leftovers cold. Nothing that's supposed to be warm should be cold. And I stand by that. And most sushi is cold. So I tried some again the other day, reluctantly. It wasn't my idea. And it was bad. It was very bad. Even the person that gave it to me, they tried it. They're like, oh yeah, this is not a good roll. Like this is not it. Like we'll try another one at a different place. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm good. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. So please don't worry about that. I am just fine going throughout my life without eating sushi. Anyway, oh, the Mexican restaurants I went to. One was in Sugar House, which I have a very hard time with Sugar House. It has no parking. The streets are so narrow and so tiny. They have been working on this one street for over 10 years, and it's to the point where businesses have gone out of business because people can't get to their business. Sorry, don't mean to say business so many times. They can't get to their storefronts to go in and buy stuff. And so people, because there's so much construction everywhere, so they've literally gone out of business, like multiple of them. I will say they built a lot of apartments and stuff there, so it is like a cool area and you can walk places. Plus the Barnes and Noble there is fantastic. It's 2 stories, but it's a nightmare, you guys. It's a nightmare up there. So I avoid it at all costs. And unfortunately, we couldn't do that this time. We went to one. It was called, what was it called? Morto's Cantina. And I loved it inside. Inside was such a vibe. Like so like stained glass, like moody lighting. Plus they had 2 different kinds of chips, like regular tortilla chips and then flour ones. And we could not stop eating those. Plus they had at the end churro. I think they were churro beignets. Super delicious. What did I had the burrito and I did like it, but I was not expecting there to be that many vegetables in it. Like when I mean vegetables, I mean like the ones with the texture that I don't like. So onions and peppers. And like I should have just got the quesadilla, but it was still good. So if you're in Sugar House and want to go to a Mexican restaurant, I recommend that one. You can get a reservation if you're going on a weeknight. No, a weekend. I would recommend it because there was a line out the door. I honestly think they were just having a rough night anyway because it was kind of slow. And there's only a few people running around. So hopefully that changes, but you know. What else did we do that night? Oh, that night we were just hanging out and it was like 10:30, maybe 11. It was even later than that. They're like, do you want to start a movie? I'm like, no. I'm like, that sounds so. I'm like, I'll never, ever, ever stay awake for that. But I kind of want to watch the movie. It was called Pillion. It's with Alexander Skarsgård. And I don't know the guy's name, but he's Dudley from Harry Potter. I had no idea until someone told me that. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is Dudley. Basically, the premise is Dudley is the sub in the relationship, and Alexander is the dom. And it just kind of shows this weird dynamic relationship that they have. Like, Alexander makes Dudley sleep on the floor at night, which I think is so funny. He has to wear this chain around his neck. He just like has to do whatever Alexander says. But I can't really give a good review on it because I would just fall asleep and wake up. What I did see was kind of funny. But the people I was with, they said it could have been better. They were expecting more from it. And apparently it's based on a book. And my friend said the book made him super angry because it was, I don't know, he just didn't like it. So yeah, I don't know if you want to watch, it's an A24 movie. Apparently they're not showing it in United States besides New York and LA. So you have to wait. Then the next night we went to a place called Nacho House. This one is clear on the other side of the valley, on the west side, um, at Jordan Landing, right next to Barnes and Noble. And this one was called Nacho House. This one was a little bit more my vibe. It's more laid back, I would say, but their chips and salsa were delicious. And I would go back. What did I have? I had the chimichanga. And every time I hear chimichanga, I think of Shrek. Shrek 4? Yeah, it's the one with Rumpelstiltskin. And they're like, what's that? And he's like, that's my chimichanga stand. Why do we need that? Like, well, what if you get hungry and people want chimichangas? That's the only thing I think of when I think of chimichanga. Plus, I think, aren't they like super unhealthy? Like, the most unhealthy thing is, pretty sure it's a deep fried burrito, right? A chimichanga is a popular Tex-Mex dish consisting of a deep fried burrito characterized by a crispy golden brown exterior and tightly wrapped filling. So yeah, of course I would gravitate towards the most fattening thing. Anyway, I like that place a lot. So they also had pasta, which I thought was interesting, and it did look pretty good, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to come to a Mexican restaurant and eat pasta. But at the same time, it looks really good. So I don't know, to each their own. Also, last week we went and saw The Moment with Charlie XCX, and I liked the movie. I think if you're not a fan of hers, you're not going to like it. There's just a lot of humor that I don't know. If like I can't imagine like a person that has no idea who she is, or like a straight person, or just someone, some rando, maybe even like parents, they're not gonna get this movie because it just like the jokes go over your head. But for me, I was highly entertained. That being said, I still had some friends who watched it and they're like, it seems very slow. It's very slow. I'm like, yeah, I can see that, but it's like a mockumentary. Like they're making fun of celebrity documentaries. Basically, it's like the typical follow the celebrity around on their tour and just like see the behind the scenes of their life. But it was funny. They had, I think I talked about this last week. So in the movie, she has to partner with this bank. Doesn't have to, but she does. And they are giving Brat credit cards away. The company is called Howard Sterling. And I thought this was a real bank because you can order the credit cards and they're not real. They're just like fake. But I was like, where is the nearest Howard Sterling to me? Because I thought it was real, but it's just from the movie. So that should be coming any day now. I ordered it last week. Anyway, so wait for my Brat credit card. It'll probably go, maybe I'll put it right here. I thought it was funny. I thought it was well done. The ending, she kind of talks about how fame kind of consumes you and changes you and how you just have to stay true to yourself. So I think it had like a good meaning, a good message, but I can see how some people wouldn't like it. But Kylie Jenner was in it. She did really well. I wasn't expecting her to do bad, but she like went above my expectations and she looked good. I don't know. I just would like to see her in more things. And she was funny. Like she was funny in it and it was a very small part, but she was in it. what else happened in the movie? I don't know. I just like that music, and so we went and saw it in Dolby Atmos, like a theater that had Dolby Atmos. So hearing her Brat album was like in a setting like that was well worth it. Even if like the movie wasn't up to some people's standards, I think it would be fun just to see in theaters because I don't know, that album, there's just something about it. It's like so I mean, obviously it's clubby, it's like dancey, like people, it just makes you want to dance and have fun and have a good night and party. So anytime I can hear music on great sound system at full volume, I am a happy, happy person. This week, we're going to see the Wuthering Heights movie. And I read this magazine last night to prepare for myself. It's the British Vogue with Margot Robbie on it. I honestly forgot that it was a thing, but it kind of goes into how she got involved with it. And she was just going to produce it. And then she's like, well, I actually want to star in it. Anyway, I hope from what I've heard, the costumes and outfits and stuff kind of are insane in this movie in a good way. And I hope that some of these in this magazine are what's going to be in the movie. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but like, look at this. Look at this. Now, she talks about Emerald Fennell. She is the director of it and writer. She also did Promising Young Woman. If you have not seen that movie, I highly recommend going to see it. It is very, very good. She won an Oscar for her screenplay of it. It is very, very good. I recommend it. It's probably one of the better movies I've seen. Not gonna lie, it is so so good. Plus, they have Paris Hilton's song in it. Stars Are Blind. Anyway, and then also Emerald Fennell. She did Saltburn, which was a few years ago, and I still, I watched it a long time after everyone did, like maybe 7 months ish after it was like it had come out and all the hype was like not as big. And people are like, "Oh, I can't wait to hear what you think about this scene or tell me what scene like shocked you the most." And honestly, like I know there's a few scenes that are supposed to be like completely shocking, like the one in the is it the shrubs with him and that girl, and then obviously the bathtub scene. Those yeah, those were a little shocking. The bathtub scene not so much. I didn't think that was that crazy. What shocked me the most was the final scene. I don't want to really give anything away, but I mean it's been out anyway. Where he rips the feeding tube out of Rosamund Pike's throat. That shocked me more than anything, and no one even talked about that. No one even said a word that that was happening. That was the most shocking thing to me. But I guess while she was filming that, that's where she kind of got the idea to make the Wuthering Heights movie because she saw Jacob Elordi in his Halloween costume. I think that was the scene they were filming for Saltburn, and she's like, "Oh, that is my is his name Heathcliff." I think that's the name of the movie. But if you're a fan of the book, I don't know how many people have read this book. It says it's the greatest love story ever, and I'm like, is that true? That's the first time I've heard this, but I thought wasn't Romeo and Juliet the greatest love story technically? What people call that. Also, did you know that he wrote that story as like not like a joke, but just like, where did I learn this? I learned this in a movie somewhere, so maybe it's not accurate. What this movie said was that Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet as like a joke because it's like they're teenagers and they're so dramatic that they like end up unaliving themselves because they can't be with each other. Like it's supposed to be like kind of like a ridiculous storytelling just of how dramatic teens can be. But I always thought that was considered like the greatest love story. Also, I want to go back and watch the Romeo and Juliet with Claire Danes. Is it Claire Danes and what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio. I remember watching that in high school and thinking, like, this is kind of fun. It's kind of cool. If you have not seen it, it's like a 90s based Romeo and Juliet, like modern telling, but they speak in Shakespeare times. I don't even know how to phrase that. But anyway, yeah. So if you're kind of a diehard fan of this movie, like, look at these outfits. This is crazy. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. You're not going to like the movie. So they say it's a modern take of the book, the story, and I don't know. I've been hearing great reviews about it, but I've also seen people online who are kind of upset about it because it's not accurate, and I'm like, just enjoy the movie. Just go and enjoy the movie. It's not supposed to be anything like. I think it's just supposed to be fun. I think it's supposed to be a different telling of it and how she views it. Emerald Linnell. Anyway, I'll let you know how it goes. I'm super excited. We get a free gift when we go, and I hope it's something really cool. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what I talked about in my intro. Zayn has a new album coming out. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Conical? Yeah, April 17th. And this is one of the worst album covers I've ever seen. I'm sorry. It's someone posted a side by side of Miley Cyrus, like shape shifting into a leopard or something. Like, this is what I'm talking about when I think people shouldn't be able to create their own, like, just maybe know where your strengths and weaknesses are. I actually don't even know the last time I sat and listened to a Zayn song, so I don't know what his music's like anymore. I really liked the first album he came out with. Anything since then, I don't know. But this album cover is so bad. It's like it's up there with Ava Max's when she had to redo it because people bullied her so much. When she had the diamond in her mouth and she was laying down, it was a bad angle. It was bad everything, and she changed it. Cynthia Erivo's album cover, I don't like. I stand by what I said. This album cover is terrible, and I'm curious what the music's gonna sound like. So in April, you'll be able to find out. Kristen Stewart apparently purchased an old theater, the Highland Theater in LA, I think it is. Let's see. These days she's making hers heard at the Highland Theater. Her voice is what they meant. The 1925 Highland Park movie Palace and one-time vaudeville performance space designed by noted architect Louis Arthur Smith, whose resume also includes the Vista Theater in Los Feliz, the El Portal in North Hollywood, and the Rialto in Pasadena, all from the mid-1920s. Stewart recently purchased the noble yet dilapidated building, which closed its doors and dimmed its marquee in 2024. She said, "I didn't realize I was looking for a theater until this place came to my attention. Then it was like a gunshot went off and the race was on. I ran toward it with everything I had. I'm fascinated by broken down old theaters. I always want to see what mysteries they hold." You know what? I too am fascinated by old theaters, so maybe I should buy one. It would be fun to have just like a one-off theater, but I want to be rich enough and like connected enough that I still get like the good movies, you know? Like I would want this movie theater to be huge, but also be able to bring the movies that don't really get shown in like Utah technically, you know? Like the random movies. So I'm trying to talk about the secret movies they have, you know, stuff like that. I just want one really nice classic old looking theater, but you know, obviously modern and up to date. That I think would be fun. I really do. I'm not trying to compete with the big names, not trying to compete with Cinemark, but just to have one really cool theater where people come and like it's like a event to go there, you know? Like people travel just to go. What do they call that? A destination place? Yeah. It's like a destination. People go there just for that. Who knows, maybe someday. And then next door I'll have my car wash, my outside car wash that I've always wanted. I don't know why, but I always have. She wants this to be a school too, is what she was saying. It says the project is about creating a new school and restructuring our process, finding a better way forward. We want to make it a family affair, something for the community. It's not just for pretentious Hollywood cinephiles. I see it as an antidote to all corporate bullshit, a place that takes a movie culture away from just buying and selling. I think there's a huge desire and craving for what this kind of space can offer. So yeah, that's kind of fun. It'd be so fun to have enough money just to be able to do that. Like that thing is shut down that like people love, and I have the opportunity to be able to open it back up and save it. Yeah. Leighton Meester has a new movie coming out. Apparently it's completed. I thought it had just started, but it comes out March 2026. I don't know if it is a like a Netflix streaming movie or whatever, or an actual theater movie, but it says it's a comedy and it sounds really good. It says after Gloria and Nick's painful breakup, Gloria spirals through his dating history and discovers Kaylin, his hottest and most basic ex-girlfriend who has stolen both her boyfriend and threatens to take her entire story. And the only people I know is obviously Leighton Meester, she's the star, and Ashley Park, who plays Mindy from Emily in Paris. We'll see if she sings in this movie too. People are so annoyed with her singing in Emily in Paris, and it is kind of true. She sings every episode, but I mean, I guess that is her job. I guess that is her like her career. But it's like, why do we have to sing every single episode? It's also got Taylor John Smith. That is a very American name, and he is known for Sharp Objects. I never saw that, but Where the Crawdads Sing. I think that's his most famous movie. I love that. I still think about that. I went to the theater with Catherine and Dalton. It was summertime. It was like one of those days where it's so hot outside, and it was like kind of the middle of the day. And so you go in and it's just super hot, and the theater is cool. And it was just like I wouldn't say fun movie, but it was just a fun experience, and I liked the movie, and that was my introduction to Daisy Edgar Jones. Is that her name? I always get that Daisy Edgar Jones and Daisy and the Six. So that the TV show, I think she's in that, but I don't. I'm always incorrect. She's not in that. It's just her name sounds so familiar. Anyway, I love Daisy Edgar Jones. That's still probably one of my favorite Royal Courts. Royal Court is that TV show, or because it's YouTube, Brittany Broski has, and she interviews guests in like a Renaissance style interview. And Daisy's is my favorite. She's just so funny. She just seems like she'd be so fun to be around. Anyway, I just love her. I love her and I love her name. I love the name Daisy. If I had a kid, a child, a little girl, I would name her Daisy. That's kind of one of the things. I like the name Ford for a boy. I know people are probably like, Ford. I just do. I like the name Ford. I wouldn't name them after the car company, but more like Tom Ford, or wasn't there a president named Ford? Anyway, we're getting off topic, but that is a name I like. It says Hilary Duff is re-recording classic hits including Wake Up, So Yesterday, and What Dreams Are Made Of for special editions of her upcoming sixth studio album, Luck or Something, releasing February 20th. Well, that's soon. That's next week. Or I guess this week if you're listening. The re-recording versions dubbed Mine are featured on the Mature Edition and Dirty Martini vinyls. I wonder how much they are. Should we see? On her website, you can get a signed exclusive vinyl and CD, signed vinyl, CD, Urban Outfitters. I'm going to be so honest, Urban Outfitters has fallen so far. Every time I go in there, it's worse and worse, especially the one in Utah. Like I went in there to find a vinyl the other day. They got rid of their whole vinyl section. The men's section is like a I don't know, a 1 by 1 square foot area in the back of the store. It's just crap. Have you guys been in there? It's just junk everywhere you look. There's just stuff, and it's so I go in there not on my own. It's usually with other people who want to go in there, and I'm out of there in less than 5 minutes. I'm like, this store sucks now. Like, what happened to this place? The one in Vegas is better at the Fashion Show Mall, but other than that, I don't like it. Okay, at Barnes& Noble, you can get the translucent yellow-orange vinyl. Urban Outfitters, you get the translucent orange vinyl. I don't know what Talk Shop is, but it's signed. And then from her, you can get the signed exclusive vinyl. I wonder if they're sold out. Oh, wow, this is so magical. There's butterflies all over the screen. Come on. Oh, it's all sold out. Never mind, you can't. You can pre-order the cassette. You can pre-order everything else, but all the signed stuff is gone. I'm not seeing where you can buy oh wait, here we go. The Mature Edition. On the back. Yeah, okay, here we go. Yeah, so you still can. If you want to order her old re-recorded stuff, the vinyl you're wanting to buy is Luck or Something Mature Edition. So I'm curious to see what this is all about. Also, I don't know if she's officially announced it or if she's going to, but she was on Instagram Live the other day and she kept hinting there'd be a tour, and she would say stuff like not track list, but the set list. Because she's going on that like mini tour. And did you know you can't sell the tickets? Like if you bought the tickets, you can't sell them like at all to anyone. Like they're non-transferable. So I think that's kind of cool. She's trying to beat the bots, but anyway, that's kind of interesting if you're a Hilary Duff stan. All right, A24, the movie studio, has acquired the rights to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and apparently they're going to make it into a TV show. It'll be interesting. I wonder what streaming service it'll be on. I would imagine HBO, but their fate is so up in the air right now because of all the Warner Brothers trying to sell everything. I can maybe see Netflix picking it up, but I feel like A24 would want this show to be pretty graphic, pretty gory. Also, it says Glenn Powell is supposed to produce it, so that could be interesting. I wonder if he'll star in it also. I don't know. This could be like 10 years in the making. This could be a year in the making. This could be probably almost finished. I wonder if it shows on here. Yeah, it doesn't even show on his IMDb that is a thing coming up. I guess maybe if I do producer. Yeah, nothing is showing up as a producer, but he has 6 upcoming things. He's got Chad Powers. That's old. Why is that on here? How to Make a Killing is completed. The Great Beyond is completed. Judd Apatow has a project with him. It says pre-production. The Natural Order in pre-production, and the Ron Howard untitled Firefighter film project Ron Howard, if you're unaware of who he is, he directed the phenomenal, wonderful, classic, iconic live action Grinch. He's also the producer of, what else does he do? Well, he does a lot more than I thought. He has produced so much stuff and directed. I want to see it directed. Okay, we'll start with How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That was in 2000. That's crazy. The Da Vinci Code, I had no idea he did that. Angels and Demons. Heidi Montag says no to plastic. That's funny. That's interesting. The Dilemma. Did you guys ever watch this movie? Is this the one I'm thinking of? Yes. This is the one with Winona Ryder and Channing Tatum, Vince Vaughn, and Kevin James. And Channing Tatum is having an affair with Winona Ryder, who's married to Vince Vaughn, I think that's who it is. Anyway, I forgot about that. I went to see it in theaters. That is a good movie. If you want like a rom-com type thing, I recommend it. I need to watch that again. I remember he had a G-Wagon, Channing Tatum, and I was like, oh, I want that car so bad. Anyway, what else has he done? He's done Solo, a Star Wars story. I don't know he did Hillbilly Elegy. Anyway, he was Opie in the Andy Griffith Show, and he's Bryce Dallas Howard's dad. Dallas Howard, she got her name from, let's see, I think she was born in Dallas, and she was conceived in Bryce Canyon. And then obviously Howard is her last name, but that's where she got her name. If you're unaware, she was conceived right here in Utah in Bryce Canyon and born in Dallas. She is from The Help. She's from Jurassic World, the first like reboot of it. She's been in a lot. I like her a lot. I think she is a great actress and just like a nice person in general. Okay, let's see. The Real Housewives of Rhode Island is premiering April 2nd. That one, I love that whole vibe. I love that like coastal, like East Coast coastal vibe, with like the shingles on the sides of the house, kind of like a Hamptons looking house. One of my dreams is to go to Nantucket. That's one of those places you have to take a ferry to get to. That's also where Meghan Trainor grew up, was on Nantucket. And it's pretty, you kind of have to be pretty wealthy, I think, to live there. But I think that's where people that used to hunt whales used to live back in the day. Fun fact. Also, Meghan Trainor has an album coming out. I had no idea until I was doing notes for this episode. The album's called Toy With Me. I have no idea when it comes out, but it just said, this is my new album cover for my new album coming out. I was like, I had no idea you had an album coming out. That is one person who I think gets a lot of hate for no reason, but yet she just does what she wants and has fun. And how would that be? Just to be rich and put out music that you want and like love your family. She like loves and adores her family and her kids. And I don't know, just kind of like in your own lane, totally not unaware, but like just unbothered by mean people. Anyway, excited for Real Housewives of Rhode Island. They found out the cause of death from Catherine O'Hara, and I had a feeling it was something along the lines of this, where she was sick and she just didn't tell anybody, but it said she had rectal cancer. So like the family obviously knew that it was happening, but it came to a shock to everyone else because obviously she didn't announce it, but that's so sad. I still can't wrap my head around that. Yeah, this is just so crazy. So sad. The SAG Awards are changing their names just to the Actor Awards. Not really sure why. Kristen Bell did a commercial about it. It's actually a pretty clever commercial, but it's going to be on Netflix on March 1st. So I don't know what channel it used to be on. I'm guessing CBS, NBC, Fox, one of those channels. But anyway, it's changing. So that one, is that like, what is the purpose of the SAG Awards? Like, do they vote? I think it's all the actors it's like the union, right? Who knows? I'm probably butchering all of this. Speaking of Leighton Meester, there's a Blair Waldorf sequel apparently in the works. It explores Blair in her 40s. I don't know. I hope it's good. I hope it's not. I hope it holds up because the last Gossip Girl series they did just was not it. It didn't hit, but I don't know. It could be good. It could be really bad. And it could last half a season, a full season, 7 seasons. We just have to see. But I think if someone could carry it, it would be Leighton Meester. I feel like she has just kind of a good reputation and people like her a lot. And people love Blair Waldorf. So now if it was Serena, I don't think that would go over very well. Because of Blake Lively's reputation the past few years, I don't think that would go over well. Plus, I think people didn't like Serena. They said she was kind of like a whiny person. I personally love Serena. I loved her whole story. I loved her life, her rich mom. Yeah. Anyway, this one is sad, but I'm not surprised. Demi Lovato has canceled some of her tour dates. It says, My Lovatics, I'm so excited to get back on stage this year and visit you in as many cities as I can. While starting to prepare for the tour, I realize that I have overextended what may be possible to protect my health and ensure I can give you my all At each show, I need to build in more time to rest and rehearse, and ultimately adjust to a schedule with some more time off that will allow me to handle the entire run of the tour. Charlotte, Nashville, Atlanta, Las Vegas, and Denver, I am so sad to say I will no longer be able to see you on this tour, and I'm so sorry to those who plan to be there. Orlando, we are moving your show to April 13th and we'll kick off there. I am so excited to see you on this tour, and I'm looking forward to seeing as many of your faces singing with me. Thank you for your support. Always, I love you and cannot wait to see you soon. Now, she canceled her last tour because she obviously had that overdose again. Maybe not again, but she had the overdose scare. And there was something about it. Like, my cousin was like, "Do you want to go to this tour?" It was the Tell Me You Love Me tour. Right? Is that the name of the album? Which I love that album. It was a really, really good one. And in my head, I'm like, there's something off. Like, something's not right. I can just feel it. I can tell. I'm like, I just don't think I want to buy a ticket. And she's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. I just can tell something's wrong. And then she ended up canceling the whole tour because of the whole overdose scare thing. And I'm like, I knew it. I had a feeling something was going on. Something just didn't sit right with me. But what I'm getting at is it's kind of hard to gain people's trust back, especially people that like buy tickets and like plan to go travel to see you, you know? And it's really disheartening. The only person I've really seen be able to get away with it over and over again is Adele. I remember I've never ever been able to get tickets to Adele ever. I've tried every single time, never been able to. But I remember was it the 25 tour? Is that what it was? Yeah. And she canceled her Arizona stop, and people were so upset. People were so mad. And she's like, "I'm so sorry. I don't feel well. I don't feel right. Like it's just not going to happen." And then she postponed her Las Vegas residency a lot, but people still go to see her. She's one of the only people I can see that would get away with it. Maybe Taylor Swift, but Taylor Swift and Katy Perry, they do not. And I think maybe Pink did. Did Pink cancel one of her tours? I don't know, but Katy Perry for sure and Taylor Swift, they just do not cancel shows. They don't. They refuse to. And it makes people respect them more. It makes people like feel more comfortable. Like, oh, I know if I buy this ticket, it's not going to get canceled. The show's going to go on. Like, I've been to two of Taylor Swift's concerts where she's like halfway through the show doing a phenomenal job, and she's like, "Sorry, everyone." She like sits down to her piano stuff. I had the flu. I'm trying to get over. So if I sound off, that's why. I'm like, I never would have guessed. I never ever would have guessed that. Same with Katy Perry. I've seen two or three of her shows. She's like, "Sorry, you guys, I'm not feeling very well, but I'm trying to do my best." I'm like, again, is the sickness in the room with us because I have not been able to tell. But yeah, so what I'm getting at is I think people are kind of burned from last time Demi canceled, so tickets weren't selling like they wanted them to. But I feel like Nashville, I feel like Vegas, kind of maybe not Charlotte and maybe not Denver, but Vegas and Nashville and Atlanta, I feel like those ones should have sold out. The ones in New York, the one I'm going to, sold out first. Obviously, LA, I'm sure sold out. But yeah, it's kind of sad. So sad for everyone else, but not for me. Also, my friend Edgar texted me yesterday and he's like, "So I put my name in for Eternal Sunshine tickets. And if I get them, you're going with me, obviously." I'm like, I am. I'd be so happy. I'm not getting that album last year. I mean, if you saw my Spotify Wrapped, my whole top five was Eternal Sunshine, the deluxe edition. That album is just so good. It is so, so good to me. And so I was so sad when I couldn't get tickets. But I was like, did she open up new dates or something? And he said they kicked out as many of the bots as they could and took tickets back. And so now they're reselling them again. You had to sign up for like the pre-sale or something for that. So there's still a very, very low chance we'll get tickets, but I honestly don't care where I'm sitting. I don't care if I'm at the top of the arena. I don't care where, but just to be there, oh, I would be so happy. I would be so happy. Speaking of that, Ariana has a song called Hampstead, and in the Margot Robbie interview with British Vogue, they go to a little pub in Hampstead to have their interview. I'm like, that's my dream now. I've never cared really to go. Well, not I shouldn't say that, but I've never wanted to go to England more now that I've heard the song Hampstead, and now that I know Margot Robbie has been to Hampstead to do this interview. So someone get me to Hampstead. Like that's all I'm asking. Someone get me to Hampstead. You know, I have a hard time with overcast. Like yesterday was overcast here in Utah and I just wanted to sleep. I could just not get myself to like be motivated or anything, and it's just so hard. But there's something about like a gloomy spring day, kind of like this background where it's green outside but still like gloomy, not too cold, but like you can tell there's like just April showers in the air. I do love that when you can have the windows open. I've said it before and I'll say it again. In the springtime, you should have the windows open, the breeze coming through, and you should watch Persuasion, the Dakota Johnson movie on Netflix. I loved that movie, still do. So wish me luck for Ariana Grande tickets. I'm hopeful, but I'm trying to be realistic about it. And if I don't get tickets, I hope everyone that goes has a miserable time. I hope they all get food poisoning. So it looks like Ellen is moving back to the United States. She moved away because Trump got reelected again. And honestly, I mean, that's valid if you don't like him that much. I don't have the money to be able to do that. It would be nice to have a house somewhere else. My stepbrother last night was looking for houses in Japan and Puerto Rico. And I'm like, wow, how would that be? I would like to just be able to afford a house here, even if it was just an apartment. Anything at this point, I would like to be able to afford. But anyway, Ellen is coming back to Montecito. She spent $27.4 million on this mansion, and it's cool. I like it. It seems very Ellen. I don't know if that means she's going to sell her house in the Cotswolds, I think is where she lives in England, but I don't know. I'm very curious what she's going to do. I wonder if she's done with Hollywood or if she's going to keep like try and do something different, you know? Because I mean, she's no stranger to when having a cancellation. I mean, obviously when she came out on her TV show and was canceled and completely like discarded in Hollywood, and then she came back and became one of the most famous people in Hollywood, one of the most beloved people. I don't know. I don't know if she's going to try something like she still keeps up on her Ellen show page and her emails still get sent out. Like she's like, flashback to this episode, flashback to this. So I'm like, obviously they want to keep it going for some reason, but I don't know why. Like if it's over, why are you still I don't know. I don't know if they get sponsors still. But anyway, she's coming back. Okay, we have some Taylor Swift news. She released her song Opalite, the music video, and there are tons and tons and tons of Easter eggs in this. I wouldn't even be able to tell you them all, and if I did, it would take me like quite a while. I would suggest going onto TikTok or YouTube and finding it, but there's like over 50 of them. So basically, the premise is it's this girl who's dating. She has an ex boyfriend that's trash. She has an ex boyfriend that's a rock. I guess it would technically be ex fiance, but it's kind of set in like a 70s ish vibe, 70s or 80s, maybe more 80s. And the trash is supposed to represent Maddie Healy. The rock is supposed to represent Joe Alwyn. There's a scene where she's at the bar and she has the rock sitting on the counter and it says, I'll save a seat for you. Well, it's referencing the Lover song, I'll save a seat for you at every table. And then she's drinking a drink and it said it's referencing what's the line in Fortnite? I can never remember this. I tried to say it the other day. I was a functioning alcoholic until nobody noticed my new aesthetic. That is supposed to reference Fortnite. And then the guy in the movie is supposed to represent Travis Kelsey, and he's dating a cactus. And like every time he tries to show it love, it like pricks him. So like throughout the thing, he just keeps getting more bandages, and it's just kind of showing that he was with a toxic person. And then they have this opalite spray where you spray it on something that you think is the problem, and it fixes it, and makes it better. Travis sprays it on the cactus, and Taylor sprays it on herself because she's referencing Antihero, the I'm the problem, it's me. So she sprays it on herself and she kind of gets changed and she meets Travis, who then they fall in love and they're just being silly and goofy together. And Louis Capaldi's in it and he's like photographing them and he's like, I want to be your guys' friend. And it's just because like they're just so in their own lane. They're having so much fun. They just love to be with each other. Okay, everyone in this music video was either her backup dancer on tour or everyone that was with her as a guest on the Graham Norton show. If you're curious, the Graham Norton show, it's actually really fun. Graham Norton is like a very charismatic, fun person, and he brings out random celebrities every episode, and it's like there's some are A-list actors, some are up-and-coming actors, some are singers, some are writers. Like it's just like a total random group of people. So in the video, there's Graham Norton, obviously, Cillian Murphy, Domhnall Gleeson, Greta Lee, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Louis Capaldi, and each of them have a role in this music video. And Donald, I think it's Domhnall. That is an interesting name, Domhnall. I never heard of that. Domhnall is like the main character who plays Travis. And she got the idea because he was like, I really just want to be in a Taylor Swift music video. And you see her face kind of like light up, and she kind of gets the idea there. And so she reached out to all of them and they said yes. I mean, who wouldn't say yes? I mean, even if you didn't like Taylor Swift and she reached out to you and said, do you want to be in my music video? I'm pretty sure people would say yes. If you don't, I think that's really weird. And you're a weird person. But anyway, I like the music video. It was very, very fun. I think it's so. This was the first time she released not on YouTube first, because YouTube pulled out of the Billboard charts, and we all know Taylor loves the numbers, loves to make the money. Not a bad thing in my opinion. But so it was on Apple Music and Spotify first, and then a couple days later it was on Netflix. But it was the highest, the most streamed music video on Spotify in a day. And I'm like, well, that's not really hard because who's watching music videos on Spotify? I guess now people have to, because if they want to get the streams up, that's how it's going to have to happen. Taylor is also the first female artist with the most songs over 1 billion streams on Spotify. She has 23 of them. And I think I saw the other day said Taylor Swift has 150 billion streams in total, which that's a lot of streams. And she's the highest female, or the female with the most streams, which makes sense. It just doesn't make sense that she's not the most streamed person ever, in my opinion, at this point. I mean, she's like the most famous person, famous pop star. But also, this one's interesting. I don't know if it's true, but it's a very light rumor. Cruella 2 is supposed to be a musical, and it might have a villain, and the villain might be Taylor Swift. So that could be interesting. I don't know how that would go. I don't know how long we're gonna have to wait for that, but you never know. Could be good. Could be interesting. All right, we got a lot of Miley news. Miley Cyrus, she is rumored to be the favorite for next year's Super Bowl, and I would absolutely love that. I think it would be amazing, but it kind of contradicts her reasoning for not going on tour, not being in a room full of 100,000 people. She likes to sing for a room of like 200 people. Super Bowl has a much bigger stage than that. I would go, and I hope it would be a Hannah Montana like intertwined one, but you never know. There's also a Miley Cyrus Barbie doll that is coming out, and Miley Cyrus is going to be on Sesame Street, the newest episode of Sesame Street. So she is busy. She is booked and busy. Speaking of the halftime show, it was Bad Bunny, obviously. And I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't, because I don't speak Spanish. So I'm like, I know I'm not going to be able to understand what he's saying. But I'm like, I wonder what guests he's going to bring out. I heard a rumor it's going to be Cardi B, which she was there, but she didn't sing. And I'm pretty sure I saw Jessica Alba. It was just kind of a bunch of people like dancing on the front porch of this set. He had Ricky Martin come out and sing. The one I was shocked at, I actually gasped. I'm like, it was Lady Gaga. I had no idea she was going to come out, but it doesn't surprise me because he loves Lady Gaga, like loves, loves, loves her. He has the Chromatica rain boots, the Chromatica shirt. He sings about her song Paparazzi in, what song was that? I Like It, with Cardi B. Was that the song that he was in with her? Anyway, he loves Lady Gaga. And so she did this kind of like Spanish style Die with a Smile section. Apparently, it was the most watched Super Bowl in history, 135.4 million viewers. And he referenced like America a lot, God bless America. He had a big banner that said the only thing that is stronger than hate is love. So I mean, like, if you have an issue with it, I think you're the issue. I liked it. I thought it was very well done, and it was like a good representation of America, just like all the different cultures in one. So I think that's kind of what we needed right now. But obviously, there was that other halftime show. Um, if you watch that, I really don't care how it was. Gonna be honest with you, I really don't care about it. Also, in the middle of the show, a couple got married, and apparently that was a real wedding. They had invited him to go to their wedding, and he instead called them and was like, "Do you want to come be in the Super Bowl and get married there?" And they're like, "Yes." So they did. That was a real wedding in the middle of the Super Bowl. How iconic. This one is sad. Obviously, Savannah Guthrie's mom has been missing for a long time, and it's very suspicious. Like, they just released the doorbell footage, and Maria Shriver's like, "Where has this footage been? Like, why is this footage taking so long to get and retrieve and look at?" I try not to fall into conspiracy theories, but this one does make a little bit of sense. Savannah Guthrie is the lady that interviewed those victims of Epstein, and now her mom has been kidnapped and taken for ransom. So that is interesting to me. Apparently, they have spoken to the person, and they say they will pay whatever they want, just let their mom come home. It's so sad. You just see her face. She just looks so distraught and so I don't know, just so lifeless. And I mean, it makes sense. What a horrible thing to be going through. People are commenting that the things she's saying in these ransom videos is very scripted. But I think that's how the FBI is telling her to say things. I guess when she was describing her mom, she's like, she's warm, she's kind. Just talk to her. You'll understand that she's just a normal person, a normal human. Like, apparently that is taken from The Silence of the Lambs. That is kind of how they say it in that movie. But as it turns out, the writer of Silence of the Lambs conversed with the FBI on what they would have someone say if they were in that position. So I think it's just a generic FBI phrase or script that they give people to read. So that's why it's in Silence of the Lambs. So people thought she was copying Silence of the Lambs when really it's just an FBI thing that they do. I don't know. It's just sad. It's really, really sad. Apparently, Meryl Streep is going to play Joni Mitchell in a biopic. That could be interesting. Katy Perry, I never know what to believe. She is rumored to be releasing a new single called Watch It Burn on the 17th, which is 6 days from now, from when I'm recording this. I don't have high hopes, but I hope, I would love that. Obviously, I love Band-Aids. If you haven't heard Band-Aids yet, I recommend going and listening to it. It's kind of on the same vibe as the one that got away, where it's an upbeat song, but it's a sad song, which I love those. I love a ballad you can sing. She just posted photos with Justin Trudeau. They went on a ski trip. Looks like maybe Switzerland. And they just look so happy together. They really do. They look so just like content and in love and happy. And I'm pleased and happy for them. Speaking of new music, Lana Del Rey has a new song coming out Tuesday, I think it is. I don't even know the name. It's white dove-tailed deer, something hunter. White hawk dove-tailed deer hunter. I think that's what it's called. And I said, judging by the title, I don't think I'm gonna like it. I just wish that she would do something just one more time. I know she probably doesn't like it. I know she probably doesn't like how commercialized her first album, Born to Die, was, but it was so good. There's a reason it has been on the Billboard 200 for over 600 weeks. It's just so well done, and she's never done anything like it since. And I just really want her to do something similar to that again. I have grown to like her more throughout the last year. I've always liked her, but there are many, many songs that I'm like, this just isn't it for me. I think it took me a long time to get on the slow, kind of sultry music train because I like more, obviously, Katy Perry-esque style stuff. But I think Taylor Swift helped me get into the, kind of the folklore, Evermore, indie type stuff music. But before that, it was all like bass, upbeat, party song. Like that's just how I kind of rolled. But now I can appreciate like slower songs. And Lana has a lot of those, but there are still some that it's like, yeah, no, I really just don't understand this song. Like, did you know there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? Or what was that one of her, like, standing on the back of my dad while he deep sea fishes? Why? Like, what is the point of having titles that long that don't make any sense? But you know what? To her, it makes sense, and that's all that matters. And she's doing very, very well on her swamp, and she's living out her dreams and with her love of her life, and good for her. Good for her. This one I thought was really cool. There is a new feature on Spotify that it's called Page Match. So you can kind of bounce back and forth between reading a book and listening to it. It says Spotify's Page Match is a mobile app feature for premium subscribers that uses the phone's camera to sync physical books or ebooks with corresponding Spotify audiobooks. By scanning the pages, the app instantly finds your spot, allowing for seamless switching between reading and listening to over 500,000 supported titles. I wonder if you can you must be able to use it right now. It says open the audiobooks, activate feature, tap the page match button, select scan to listen, and scan the physical page you are reading. Sync audio. Spotify will identify the text and provide an option play from here or save for later. Interesting. That is a cool concept because sometimes you kind of go back and forth between having to read and listen, and you have to like find the spot you're at, and it's just really hard work. So I don't know. This is what I think technology should be used for. This is like cool, but there's a lot of other things going on right now. And like, this is not what technology should be used for, but this page matching thing. Lewis Hamilton, so he is dating Kim Kardashian and they were spotted kissing at the Super Bowl. I just wanted to go through and show you his dating history. It's pretty wild. Okay, so it says that Lewis Hamilton's, he is a race car driver, but it says Lewis Hamilton's dating history just proves that he does not have a type. So I'm just going to read the ones that people like would know. From 2007 2015, he dated Nicole Scherzinger. She's from the Pussycat Dolls. She's also the mom in Moana, if you're unaware of that. 2015, he dated Gigi Hadid and Rihanna and Kendall Jenner. 2016, he dated Rita Ora. 2016, 2017, he dated model Winnie Harlow. 2017, he dated Sophia Richie. 2018 was Nicki Minaj. 2023, Kira. 2025 was Sofia Vergara. And 2026 is Kim Kardashian. So, I mean, that is quite the roster. That is crazy. He's a very good looking guy, and it looks like he loves fashion. Um, I think he's been to, in a few of these pictures I'm looking at, he's been to the Met. And he actually does more than just like a suit. He does actual outfits and looks, and yeah, like he definitely enjoys fashion and getting ready. I love that for him. I'm trying to find the one, I don't know, but this picture of him and Kim Kardashian, he's wearing this really cool, like turtlenecks, like skin tight suit, something Kim would wear, and then a blue blazer over the top of it. He's very good looking, and so is Kim. I approve. I approve Kim. I just hope he's good to you. I hope he's nice to you. Like it's so sad when in the show when she's talking about her ex-husband, who we all are aware of who that is, and she said, "I he does these crazy over the top huge things for me. Like he'll rent out, he'll fill the entire house full of flowers, or he'll rent an orchestra to do the engagement, or just like these things. She's like, I really just want the small things. I want him to call and talk to me throughout the day. I want to lay in bed and watch TV with him. I want to go on a walk with him. Like just like little things. I'm kind of paraphrasing. I don't think those are the exact things she said, but she's like, I just want small, little, intimate things. The big things are awesome, but I just want someone who wants to do just like an afternoon, Sunday afternoon, just laying in bed, watching TV, getting brunch, like that type of thing. And I hope she finds that because I think that's just as important as someone who goes above and beyond. The Bachelorette premieres March 22nd, and I cannot wait. This is the first time I've ever wanted to watch The Bachelorette, and obviously it's for Taylor Frankie Paul. I'm so curious to see what she says, what she does, who she sends home, kind of the nonsense she doesn't put up with. Noah Beck has a new movie. I think he's in the movie. It's not his movie. But I think this title was translated because I was reading it. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Soccer player pursues pro dreams relentlessly. Strained relationship with sister after team exile to Miami. Battle over mom's legacy. He risks losing family for another shot at glory. It has Lewis Pullman in it. He is the guy from Thunderbolts, the new Thunderbolts movie that came out last year. He's the villain. Was he a villain? I mean, he was the one they were fighting. Danny Ramirez, I don't really know who he is. Camila Mendez, she is from Riverdale. She was Veronica. Esther Exposito, I think is how you say it. She was from Elite. And I don't think she looks old, but she just looks very mature. And I just found out she just turned like 26. I'm like, I thought you were in your 30s, respectfully. Like, I don't think she looks old and like bad, gorgeous, but I'm like, I am so tired of people being younger than me. It makes me so upset. And then Noah Beck. Oh, and Becky G is in it too. So obviously they brought Noah Beck in because he's trying to become an actor, but also because it's about soccer, and Noah Beck is very, very good at soccer. If you're unaware, Noah Beck used to live in Utah. He did like a soccer camp here, and he lived in Draper or Riverton, kind of in that area, and would train kind of with the Real team, I think. So yeah, a little bit of info there for you. A few more things. Okay, Britney Spears has allegedly sold her music catalog for $200 million, similar to Justin Bieber's. And it really makes me mad because Katy Perry's catalog sold for like 150. I'm sorry, Katy Perry's catalog is much better than Justin Bieber's for sure. Britney Spears, I think they're on par with each other in my opinion. Obviously, Britney has an extensive catalog, but I think Teenage Dream alone is worth 200 million, my opinion. But who knows? I'm not in the music industry, so I don't see all the numbers, but it just kind of makes sense to me that Teenage Dream is worth more than pretty much any album ever. Okay, should we look at the Billboard top charts this week? I'm kind of curious. I'm sure it'll be similar, but also different. Okay, it changed more than I thought. Okay, the top artists in the 100 right now are Don Toliver. That kind of surprises me. Doesn't he have a new album out? Bad Bunny, Morgan Wallen, Olivia Dean, and Taylor Swift. The top songs are Choose in Texas by Ella Langley, Man I Need, Olivia Dean, Ordinary. Again, I just, that song to me. Ordinary, Alex Warren, I Just Might, Bruno Mars, and Golden by K-pop Demon Hunters. So Taylor Swift is not in the top 5 anymore, which is kind of sad. I think this is albums. Number 1 is Octane by Don Tolliver. Bad Bunny's number 2. I'm the Problem, Morgan Wallen. The Art of Living, or The Art of Loving, Olivia Dean, and Life of a Showgirl, Taylor Swift. Okay, now we'll do the box office numbers. We've got number 1 is Send Help, made 9 million. Solo Mio, that one did better than I thought. That's the one with Kevin James, and he goes to Italy because his fiance breaks off the wedding or cheats on him or something. So he's sad, and so he goes to Italy. It's PG. I mean, it looks like a one that your mom would want to go see with her girlfriends or something, you know. Iron Lung, that one is still doing well. I just don't care to see that movie. 6 million. Stray Kids, I do not know what that's about. 5.7 million, and Dracula, 4.4 million. I heard Dracula was not good. Like, hardly at all. Like, the people who went and saw that I know, they brought it up twice, and they're like, "Oh, that horrible movie we went and saw." I'm like, "Oh, apparently it must be pretty bad." Anyway, that is it for me, you guys. I hope you all have a great week. And it's the middle of February. That is so weird. But we're getting closer to springtime, and I heard that we're going to gain a whole hour of daylight in February. So that makes me super, super happy. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. Please go subscribe to me on YouTube. Go watch my YouTube shorts, my TikToks, my Instagram reels. It helps a lot. Yeah, I just appreciate all of you listening, and I'm still having so much fun. Episode 126, I'm still having as much fun as I was from day one. So that's all that matters, in my opinion. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.